up until this point, we did the cooperative lesson, master copy, drawing. And the drawing is all here on the board. Just to recap where we've been. You guys did a great job on the drawing. The drawing is beautiful. This is a cooperative of all the whole class, 24 of you guys. So we're going to take the drawing and start taking it to, we transferred to the panel so we could start painting. So now I want to teach you guys a painting technique that will really break the steps of painting down. It separates the element of art of value from color, and it makes it easier for you guys to get the outcome that you want. And then after we do the value, we're going to glaze the colors in. So I'm going to show you, first of all, this is a video we're going to look at. This is a combination of all the steps that we're at right now. So it's got a little bit of an underpainting wipeout that you guys are familiar with. And this is the grisaille. Grisaille means shades of gray. So I prepared a sample with the wipeouts for you guys. This is what you guys have done before. It might give you a basic, real rough value structure, super rough value. And if that would help. That's where he started in this. So that is the wipeout. He's starting this grisaille in. Then we had talked about the palette. Here it is. Okay. I mixed up the palette to show you guys. When you do the shades of gray painting, you want to set up a palette that's white, the next darker, next darker. Have that all ready to go. So that's your value structure. That's your palette. So you're going to start with that and the wipeout. So if you haven't started with this, you might end up, if you don't have all those shades, you might end up with too hard a transitions and not the subtlety that you're after. So that would really help it to set that up, and that would be what I would suggest that you guys start with. And I'll come around to each table and demonstrate when you guys are painting and give you guys some pointers on blending and edges and stuff like that. So I'd like for you guys to watch this video because I think it'll show you in a few minutes easier than I can try to show the whole group. I'm not going to turn the lights off. Okay. Can you guys see okay?
Yeah, I'll turn the lights off.
And how about the volume on this? Can you turn it any louder?
Right now, which means painting with grays. In this particular case, I'm using burnt umber, and I'm just now blocking in a very thin layer. The canvas is toned with umber and completely dried over the drawing, and I'll probably ink it again with burnt umber as I go along here. And I think it's coming out beautifully. It's a nice start, and I hope this will be an exciting process for everybody, especially with my first YouTube video. I hope it works out, and there'll be more to come. I might go ahead and give a little bit of my palette here. Let me go over here and just look at this. I don't know if you can see that very well or not. Forgive me if it's kind of blurry here. I'm also working with a new camera, so you see two strings. The upper string, I started to actually approach this with going with raw umber. I would normally do that, but I just decided to go with the burnt umber, really for a selfish reason. I have tons of burnt umber, and I'm kind of limited on my raw umber right now until I get an order in, so I just wanted to wanted to use what I had plenty of and keep it consistent. So
You guys see how many different shades
that
of that
lazy.
we've got?
If you're looking what's up above, pay no mind to that. Sometimes I goof off. I found an old canvas that I doodled on years and years ago, and you'll see the doodle there back in gray in the background. But in looking at some of different flesh strings, I was just wanting to test them out, and so I made these little circles, flesh circles, or whatever you want to call them, and I just play them.
Have you guys ever done the flesh circle balls before?
So that's what that's about.
Might be a lesson we'd like to
That's
do.
no big deal. And this is just a string of what should be 9, but I actually went 10. I actually went, you can see over here, I went an extra tonal value between these two here I felt like was needed. And there's actually probably some more in there, that subtleties, but a lot of this you can mix as you go, like you see I've done there, just kind of play around with it. But all right, well, that'll be it for now. Maybe we'll talk about some of our brushes. I'm going to try doing this again. Let's see if I can do this. You can see my wife got me this wonderful little bag, and I appreciated it. And I put my favorite brushes there. I would show you the rest of my studio, but it is certainly not ready for you to see.
It's the same brush bag I have.
It's a lot of organized chaos, and we'll just spare you that. But anyhow, and then there's my big brush I'd like to
So see how
do sketches with.
we
But
started out with just the
this
real
is
general
this
wipe
is,
out, real simple.
this is a humble
I think
beginning,
that we need to go back to
and
that.
I already think it's coming out beautifully. And of course, this is just the block-in stage. There's a lot of fine detail that'll be put in later. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer. Yeah, it's blurring out. See, I haven't got used to this camera. You'll have to forgive me. I can take awesome pictures with it, but the video, I think you have to pretty much stay in one place, or there's something you can do, and I just haven't figured out what it is. So I'll try to figure that out by next time. Maybe be a little more stationary, but I hope the video turns out okay. And if not, I promise to try to get a better one. All right. God bless. Have a good one.
So he's a beginning video instructor, but his painting is really showing the technique. And I think that that's what we're after. You have to slow down and take some time and pay attention to the subtle transitions from the lightest light to the darkest dark. You want to get the midtones in there, so that if you go straight to the darkest dark and the lightest light, I think that is where you're going to run into problems. And if you set up your palette ahead of time, you're not going to be, with all those colors ready to go, you're not going to be tempted to just go lightest light and darkest dark. And I think that we all do that. I know I do that too. But that's where you get the beautiful tonal range. And what you want to do is identify the darkest dark, start with that, and build up and identify the lightest light. That's the color that goes on top. The lightest light is the deepest, is always on the surface. So on the very top of the painting. That's the way Rembrandt built it. The highlight. And he built up the highlights were thick. So that's that you can just keep going back into it and back into it, and it gives a real glowing feel. So, what kind of questions do you guys have today about where we're at on the painting and where we're going to start?
So wait, do you start by just like painting it all pretty dark and then add the highlights?
The first thing you want to do is paint your darkest dark. So identify that and paint that in the grisaille. But in addition to that, let's say this is the background. When you paint something, you want to paint the background first. Because if something's painted in the background and then you paint it in front, the line of the paint that goes in front will naturally feel like it's in front. So that's part of whether the line is going to be soft or hard. So do the background first. But in your mind, you want to think darkest dark, lightest light. A lot of times when I start a portrait, I'll start with the pupil of the eye, because that's the darkest dark. So, yeah, Bella?
Would it be alright if we shaded in pencil on the painting before we went over?
Since we're working in acrylic, I think that would be fine, and I know you're a really good drawer. So yeah, I'm trying to introduce you to some techniques, but whatever works for you and that you're comfortable with, and you're a very accomplished artist, that's fine. So we got any other questions? You guys ready to paint? So what you need to start with is setting up your palette. That's going to be the place where you're going to succeed, is have a palette that is, I think I laid out how many colors, about 7 colors. You saw his palette. He laid out about 15 colors. He was adding some umber into it, but it looked to me like the portrait part was still plain black and white. So I think it's fine to just stay with the black and white. And if you start with the burnt umber, wipe out like this, just for a general value structure. And you guys have done this before, right? So, and then we come around to table and help you guys. What we have to do is set up and establish who's painting when, because we have 2 big panels. We're doing a cooperative group, right? And Bella, you got started, and your neighbor got started, and then we got 3 painters going. I think we have a maximum of 4 that we can have, so we can have 1 more painter who's ready to start painting. We have a lot of people ready to start painting. Okay, so who said they're ready to go? You're ready? Angel's ready? You're ready? Let's see how many we can fit on the panels, and let's take a look at where your square is at, and see if you can, maybe we can get you guys all on there. So let's take a look at it together. One of the panels is out there, and one of them is back there. Okay?